What do Napoleon, Alexander the Great, and Genghis Khan have in common? Surprisingly, not all of them were truly undefeated. But in this video, you'll discover the elite few who never lost a battle in their lifetime. Prepare to meet history's most unstoppable military minds. Victory on the battlefield is fleeting. Even history's greatest conquerors have tasted defeat. But a rare few never lost, not once. These undefeated generals achieved perfection in war, often against overwhelming odds. From ancient empires to modern warfare, these men changed the world with sheer tactical genius, and left no defeat behind. Their campaigns are more than just history, they are blueprints of flawless military execution. Let's uncover 20 of the most brilliant, undefeated generals who marched through history with absolute dominance, and not a single blemish on their record. 1. Alexander the Great. Alexander never lost a battle, commanding from the front and conquering from Greece to India. His strategic brilliance at Gaugamela and Issus demonstrated masterful coordination, siege warfare, and rapid mobility, cementing his place as a military genius who reshaped the known world before the age of 33. His undefeated record spanned over 20 major battles. Even vastly outnumbered, he used terrain, surprise, and iron discipline to overwhelm enemies. His tactics influenced military strategy for centuries, making him a model for leaders like Napoleon and Caesar. 2. Khalid ibn al-Walid. Known as the Sword of Allah, Khalid ibn al-Walid never lost a battle, leading over 100 engagements. His swift campaigns against the Persian and Byzantine empires secured Islamic expansion across Arabia, Persia, and the Levant in just a few years after Prophet Muhammad's death. His mobility and unorthodox maneuvers, such as flanking the Romans at Yarmouk, became legendary. Even when vastly outnumbered, Khalid's psychological warfare, speed, and relentless attacks shattered organized opposition and solidified his legacy as one of history's most effective field commanders. 3. Subutai, Mongol Empire. Subutai, the Mongol Empire's greatest strategist, led campaigns across 32 nations and never lost. He masterminded battles across Eurasia under Genghis Khan and Ogedai, coordinating massive armies over thousands of miles with unmatched logistical genius and timing. His invasions of Europe crushed Polish, Hungarian, and Russian forces with precision. Subutai used feigned retreats, encirclements, and synchronized attacks, centuries ahead of his time. His victories were devastating and absolute, creating fear across the entire European continent. 4. Scipio Africanus. Scipio defeated Hannibal at Zama and was never beaten in battle. His campaigns during the Second Punic War included daring amphibious assaults, strategic alliances, and clever use of Iberian terrain. He broke Carthaginian dominance through brilliant tactical foresight and psychological warfare. Scipio's unmatched victory over Hannibal, arguably the greatest military mind of antiquity, secured Rome's future as a superpower. He combined patience, diplomacy, and dynamic battlefield tactics, setting a Roman military standard that endured for generations. 5. Jan Žižka. Blind in one eye, Jan Žižka never lost a battle defending Bohemia during the Hussite Wars. A revolutionary in warfare, he employed wagon forts and peasant levies to defeat superior Catholic Crusader forces, using terrain and mobile artillery in innovative ways. Even completely blind in his final years, Žižka's tactics continued to win. His formations, discipline, and use of firearms anticipated modern warfare. His army remained undefeated even after his death, following his military instructions exactly. 6. Georgy Zhukov, World War II era. Zhukov played a key role in major Soviet victories during World War II, Stalingrad, Leningrad, and Berlin. He was never tactically defeated in any battle he commanded directly. His grasp of large-scale warfare and iron discipline turned the tide against Nazi Germany. Zhukov's relentless offensives, combined with deep battle strategies, crushed some of Hitler's best generals. He orchestrated counteroffensives with overwhelming firepower, efficient logistics, and ruthless execution. Zhukov's undefeated status made him a living legend in Soviet history. 7. Nguyen Giap. The mastermind behind Vietnam's victories against both France and the United States, General Giap was never defeated in any major engagement he led. He blended guerrilla tactics with conventional warfare in ways that confused and exhausted superior foreign armies. From Dien Bien Phu to the Tet Offensive, Giap's planning relied on patience, nationalism, and terrain exploitation. His victories redefined modern insurgency and shook global superpowers. His military career remains a case study in asymmetric warfare success. 8. Themistocles. Themistocles led Athens to a stunning naval victory at Salamis against the massive Persian fleet. A visionary strategist, he built up Athenian naval power and lured Xerxes' armada into a narrow strait where numbers meant nothing, and tactics meant everything. Despite overwhelming odds, he turned the tide of the Persian wars. His strategic vision, diplomatic maneuvering, and perfect timing earned him an unblemished record. Themistocles helped secure Western civilization's survival during its darkest hour. 9. Arminius, Hermann the German. Arminius destroyed 3 Roman legions in the Teutoburg forest in 9 AD and remained undefeated. As a former Roman auxiliary, he used insider knowledge and terrain mastery to lead Germanic tribes to a crushing ambush victory. His shocking success halted Rome's expansion into Germania and forced a permanent frontier. Despite multiple Roman retaliations, Arminius maintained tactical dominance in the forested terrain, turning the wilds of Germania into a fortress against the world's most powerful empire. 10. Bai Qi, Qin dynasty. Bai Qi won over 70 battles and was never defeated. Known as the human butcher for his ruthlessness, he led Qin forces during China's Warring States period, often annihilating entire armies, including a record 400,000 soldiers at the Battle of Chongping. Bai Qi's relentless precision, psychological terror, and clever sieges made him feared across ancient China. Despite political enemies eventually forcing his suicide, no battlefield ever humbled him. His legacy remains one of blood, brilliance, and absolute battlefield domination. 11. Tokugawa Ieyasu. Tokugawa Ieyasu's strategic patience and political alliances led him to a flawless military record. He decisively won at the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600, unifying Japan and founding a shogunate that lasted over 250 years, without suffering a single battlefield defeat in his life. His long-term planning, fortified positions, and masterful manipulation of rival clans ensured victories with minimal losses. Ieyasu's military brilliance lay not just in tactics, but in psychological warfare and statecraft, solidifying peace through dominance. 12. Gustavus Adolphus, Sweden. The Lion of the North, Gustavus Adolphus was a revolutionary general of the 30 Years' War. Though killed in battle, he was never defeated while alive. His mobile artillery, combined arms tactics, and fast infantry reshaped modern warfare across Europe. He outmaneuvered larger imperial forces with superior training and coordination. His victories brought Protestant states back into the war and forced Catholic powers to reassess their tactics. Adolphus' influence on battlefield maneuvering persists in military theory today. 13. John Churchill, Duke of Marlborough. Marlborough led British forces to numerous victories during the War of Spanish Succession without a single defeat. At Blenheim and Ramillies, he used deception, mobility, and flawless logistics to crush superior French forces, forever altering European power balance. His campaigns demonstrated masterful use of terrain and precise timing. Marlborough avoided unnecessary battles, ensuring each clash had strategic value. His undefeated record made him a model for future British commanders and earned him noble recognition across Europe. 14. Sargon of Akkad. Sargon built the world's first empire and never lost a battle. Using discipline, standing armies, and advanced logistics for his time, he conquered Mesopotamia and beyond. His methods laid the foundation for imperial military systems used for centuries. From the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean, Sargon's tactics included river control, fortress sieges, and psychological dominance. His empire flourished due to military innovation and administrative brilliance. Sargon became the blueprint for future emperors across Asia and the Middle East. 15. Epaminondas of Thebes. A forgotten genius, Epaminondas was never defeated and revolutionized Greek warfare. He crushed Sparta at Leuctra using the oblique phalanx, turning the tide of Greek power and proving that Sparta could be defeated through innovation and courage. He trained citizen soldiers into elite fighters and led brilliant campaigns into the Peloponnese. Epaminondas' tactics influenced future leaders like Philip of Macedon and Alexander. Despite his death in battle, his military record remained unblemished, and his legend unmatched. 16. Henri de la Tour d'Auvergne, Turenne. Turenne was one of France's greatest generals, undefeated during the 17th century wars. He excelled in maneuver warfare, deception, and quick mobility. His bold winter campaign into Germany stunned the Holy Roman Empire and remains a classic in military strategy. He consistently turned weaker forces into dominant ones through leadership. Turenne emphasized supply chains, morale, and unity of command. His methods inspired Napoleon, who regarded him among the top generals in history. 17. Nader Shah, Persia. While ultimately assassinated, Nader Shah was never defeated in battle. His conquests from Persia to India included victories over Ottoman, Mughal, and Central Asian armies. He employed rapid cavalry strikes and psychological warfare to crush numerically superior foes. He sacked Delhi in 1739 and defeated Mughal forces with bold battlefield decisions. Nader's brutal discipline and surprise tactics kept enemies off balance. Though his rule turned tyrannical, his tactical record remained spotless and awe-inspiring. 18. Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck. Lettow-Vorbeck led Germany's East African campaign during World War I and was never defeated. With just 14,000 troops, he tied down over 300,000 Allied soldiers using guerrilla warfare, mobility, and deep knowledge of African terrain. Despite having no resupply lines, he fought to the war's end undefeated. His resistance forced the Allies to divert troops from Europe. Known as the Lion of Africa, Lettow-Vorbeck was praised even by his enemies for his tactical brilliance. 19. Charles XII of Sweden. Though he died young, Charles XII never lost a battle while leading Swedish forces personally. A tactical prodigy, he used aggressive strikes, mobility, and surprise to dominate opponents during the Great Northern War. His early victories against Russia and Poland stunned Europe. He often led cavalry charges himself, inspiring unmatched loyalty and morale. Charles XII's bold tactics kept Sweden a military powerhouse for decades, earning him eternal fame in Scandinavian history. 20. Tomoyuki Yamashita. Known as the Tiger of Malaya, Yamashita never lost a campaign until post-war politics caught up. He led one of WWII's most daring victories by defeating British forces in Malaya and Singapore with a fraction of the manpower and artillery. Using speed, deception, and jungle warfare, Yamashita paralyzed Allied defenses. His brilliant advance forced Britain's largest surrender. Though later executed in a controversial war crimes trial, his battlefield record remains undefeated and widely respected by military historians. Throughout history, only a handful of commanders have achieved the impossible, perfection in war. These 20 undefeated generals mastered terrain, tactics, psychology, and innovation, leaving behind legacies of unbroken dominance. If you enjoyed this journey through invincible warfare, subscribe to The Forgotten Past, like, and comment your favorite undefeated general below. More epic history awaits.